of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome, comrades. We want to start by recognizing God's presence and asking Him for guidance and protection, and of course, praising Him for the love that He has bestowed upon us as workers on this May Day 2018. I want to call, first of all, Sister Joanne Phillip to the microphone to lead us off in a word of prayer.
Good morning, comrades. As we are about to take our journey this morning, we all know the reasons why we're here. We fight against injustice, against workers all across the region, all across the world. Today is a day of international celebration. So for that, I will say a universal prayer. I will read the 91st Psalm of the Psalmist David, a prayer of protection. So here beginneth. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because He hath set His love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him, and show it my salvation. Please be careful, and let us have a good and productive day this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea. This our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race finds an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race finds an equal place. This May Day 2018. Now, comrades, we are going to have some very short addresses coming from the leaders of various trade unions gathered here. And then we are going to proceed along the normal route, which route I'm going to announce at that time. But first, I want to call solidarity greetings to this May Day 2018 here this morning. I want to start by first of all asking you to join me in welcoming to the microphone the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, President Lindsay Dudai. Let's welcome him.
Thank you very much, comrade. Pleasant good morning to all comrades. I bring greetings and solidarity from the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, 15,000 members strong. TUTA is pleased to be part of this May Day celebrations 2018 this morning. I want to say, while other unions are grappling with retrenchment, TUTA empathizes and supports the various measures by the various unions to grapple with the scourge of retrenchment that is facing the various unions. In the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, we do not have the problem of retrenchment. We have other issues that we are attending to presently. Last week, Monday, we had a massive picket action in Tobago, where workers were picketing to ensure that terms and conditions that were negotiated for them are afforded to them. We had a fantastic turnout in Tobago. As one person would have told me, we created a storm in Tobago. I want to signal to the powers that be that while we may have had a storm in Tobago, there may very well be a tsunami in Trinidad and Tobago very soon. Because after 2 years and more, we are still waiting on the Chief Personnel Officer to acknowledge submission of proposals for salary negotiations 2014-2017. In fact, we are outside of the negotiating period right now. Even right now, we are battling with the issue of payment for teachers for doing extra work with the payment of school-based assessments. And while we grapple with these issues, the political sycophants and cronies have come out of their woodwork. And you will see them in the letters to the editor, in the editorials, where they are coming out and they are attacking teachers, where they are attacking the leadership of the association. We have to stand strong as a trade union movement. We have to ensure that we are united if we are to fight the oppressors. So this morning, as we celebrate May Day 2018, let us recommit to a unified trade union movement. Let us recommit to standing together. Long live the trade union movement. Long live the joint trade union movement.
Thank you very much, Comrade President of TUTA. And let me immediately call to the microphone our next speaker, the Vice President of the Industrial General Sanitation Workers Union, Comrade Michael Warner.
Morning, comrades. It's a pleasure to see so much people here today. What I wanted to write a script and bring it to read out it and talk, but I prefer to speak from my heart because as industrial workers, sanitation workers, we are being taken advantage of for too long. Even our employers, they scorn us. Right? They don't want to give us no hearing as to our rights, and our salaries are down there with the lowest of the low. You know, and we are trying our best to manage 1.5 million people, 120 people managing this country, 1.5 million people we serving. We come like heroes in this country. And it's our time to pay our general sanitation workers and sanitation workers on the whole, the due respect that they deserve. So brothers and sisters, all union officers, I want all to join in solidarity with each and everyone, for everyone to get victory for each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vice President Michael Industrial General and Sanitation Workers Union. Let me move the program along as we call to the microphone here this morning in San Fernando to bring May Day 2018 greetings to us, the President of the Fire Services Association, President Comrade Leo Ramkesoon.
Thanks, comrade. Good morning, May Day 2018. Comrades, I bring you greetings on behalf of all 2nd Division officers in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. Comrades, we are here today standing in solidarity with the joint trade union movement and all workers across Trinidad and Tobago to once again say that the injustice and unfairness meted out to workers in Trinidad and Tobago is unacceptable, and we take a stand today once again against this injustice. Comrades, in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service today in 2018, we have officers who have retired several years now and are not in receipt of a pension in 2018, any kind of payment of pension whatsoever in 2018. Imagine that. Today in the fire service in 2018, we are running on approximately 3/4 of the established strength. There's vacancies for over 500 officers in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. And this speaks to the seriousness with which the government takes the safety of our citizens. There are many, many issues with respect to management of the fire service and terms and conditions. And again, we are saying that the treatment that fire officers in Trinidad and Tobago are subject to is not acceptable, and the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service Association stand in solidarity with the Joint Trade Union movement to stamp out this treatment, and we will never surrender until this issue is resolved. Long live the Joint Trade Union movement. Long live the comrades.
Thank you very much. Let me invite to the microphone here this morning another member of the Joint Trade Union movement of Trinidad and Tobago, the president of the Prison Officers Association, Comrade Ancel Roget.
Greetings, San Fernando, greetings, the Joint Trade Union movements, all members. The Prison Officers Association stands in absolute solidarity with the Joint Trade Union movement on this momentous occasion, the celebration of May Day 2018. And as my colleague would have said, we have to stand against all of the various levels of management that seek to only oppress workers and employees of this country. The reality of the situation in terms of the prison service is that the prison service is being absolutely mismanaged. And I don't have to use examples to bring home my point. The prison service has been fought with a number of incidents over the years. And what is noted and unreasonable is the approach taken by all of the various levels of management to treat with all of the issues associated with prison and prison development. Prison is important to society. It is the last form of filtering of your citizens to alleviate this, the country from crime. And when you don't have an effective prison system, you have a country that cannot manage crime. All they are doing, and I just want to make this statement, all they are doing is managing certain people's pockets and getting people rich. Because you have in Trinidad and Tobago, budgeting for national security over $6 billion. When you look at recurrent expenditure, wages, salaries, upkeep, it numbers to about $2.5 billion. Have you ever asked yourself where the other $3.5 billion is going? It's not going on your safety because you are nowhere safer now than you would have been umpteen years ago. That's the reality. It means that those persons who have contracts and services are the ones benefiting from those large budgets. For example, and I will make the statement, prison transport. Where does that fit in organizational effectiveness? And the answer is absolutely nowhere. That's the reality. But over $8 million a month is being forked up for that service to be provided for a magistrate just to say, adjourn to, and it repeats itself over and over again. We have a lazy public service commission, a very lazy and delinquent public service commission who is absolutely very well and very good at mismanaging, mishandling all aspects of their portfolio in terms of an effective management of the prison system. The Prison Officers Association, we can say much more, but I will stop there for the time being. We stand in absolute solidarity with the Joint Trade Union movement on this occasion of May Day. Long live the Joint Trade Union movement. Long live all of us in our struggle as we go forward to bring this country a better place to where we are.
Thank you very much, Comrade Richards. And in case you missed it, comrades, what the comrade was saying, the only set of people who are benefiting from this corrupt prison system is the 1%. Remember that, eh? The 1%. I want to crave comrades' indulgence to get your full attention as we get these short addresses coming from the various trade union leaders. So I want comrades to pay close attention, those upstairs to come down, and so on. I'm getting a kind of feedback. We could do without that. We want absolute silence, because these statements of solidarity comes with information that you perhaps forgot or didn't know, but all of which are critically important as we go forward, because we are going to be making some serious announcements as to what we are going to do to them who are doing all of this to the rest of us. So as we move on, comrades, let me call to the microphone here this morning the Public Relations Officer of the Association of Maxi Taxis of Trinidad and Tobago, Comrade Elias Dick. Let's welcome the comrade.
Good morning, comrades. On behalf of the associations of Maxi Taxis, I'll bring solidarity and strength to the joint trade union movement and every trade union movement in Trinidad and Tobago. Comrades, I would like to tell you this morning, but before I do it, let us remove our headdress for a moment and observe one moment of silence. I wouldn't be long. You can replace them now. I know it's before a minute. That signals the death of blue waters in Trinidad and Tobago. Death to the 1%. We shall pass by, but we will not buy. Long live the working class of Trinidad and Tobago. Long live the trade union movement in Trinidad and Tobago. Long live the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much, Comrade Dick. I'm glad you said it. They wanted to kill me when I said it. I'm glad you said it because everybody's saying it, but they're talking it in silence. We are happy to observe that 1 minute silence, comrade. As we move along, let me call to the microphone here. And this May Day, right here in San Fernando, May Day 2018, let us invite to the microphone the Secretary General of the Trinidad and Tobago Postal Workers Association, Comrade David Forbes. So welcome, the comrade.
The fact that we are here this morning is the fact that we are all conscious of what we are about here today. Throughout the world, today is International Workers' Day, and what a day it is. It is a day that we must recall what would have happened in the 18th centuries, and certainly what it has brought to us today in our struggles from then to now. It is not business as usual in Trinidad and Tobago because of the fact of how this present government is operating. And tied to that is the way that different entities have been managed as it relates to the overall governance of each entity in Trinidad and Tobago. The trade union movement is disrespected as we speak today. And we have to send a strong message today on this good International Workers' Day that we are not going to accept it. So, comrades, as we go to march through the streets of San Fernando, we will do it together, we will do it with strength, and we will do it in the best way that the trade union movement are accustomed doing it. Are we ready? Yeah. Not ready. Are we ready? Yeah. Is the labor movement ready for a march that to send a signal throughout the country that we would not accept any oppressor as it relates to the governance of the country? The working class people of this country must always be respected. And in that regard, we say solidarity forever from the Postal Workers Union and to the entire movement throughout the world.
Thank you very much, Comrade David Forbes. And let us move on as we invite again to the microphone here the Secretary General of the Communication Workers Union. Put your hands together. Join with me as we welcome Comrade Clyde Elder.
Morning, comrades. Morning. When I say power to the people, you say power. Power to the people. Power, power to the people. Power to the people. 9 days ago, 10 days ago, this country remembered the Black Power movement. And we remembered when a PNM government called a state of emergency and they locked up trade union leaders. Remember that? Today, we remember the sacrifices made by leaders all around the world. Some of them lost their lives for 8-hour day of work. Next month, we'll remember the sacrifices that were made in 1937 for labor. Why did I tell you all this? Because if we do not remember those who fought for what we have, we are going to end up fighting for the same gains. We have to protect what we have today. And we see retrenchment taking place all over. When we look what's happening in news, they're sending back Venezuelans, they're deporting them, what have you, and they're facing an economic situation in Venezuela. Right now in TSTT, a gentleman came in to take a high position, and he has no work permit. You know, you have to go back home, but nothing in the news about he being deported. Why? Because they belong to the 1%. When they are so bold and so brazen to say that we are the 1%, but we are the most influential and most powerful, you know they're taking us for granted. And you have to believe, and we have to believe, that once we come together, and once we send that message, they will know, get their blasted hands off the trade union movement and from the working class. And before I leave you, I want to say this. I don't care if you are red till you're dead, P&M. I don't care if you're yellow, UNC. I don't care if you're green, ILP, or whatever political party you belong to. All I care about is that you identify that you belong to the working class. They have and we don't have. They take from us and we have to fight for what we have. Whether you like Rowley, you like Kamla, or you don't like them, like yourself. And once you like yourself and you respect yourself, it's only then we can make some serious advances in this country. Long live the trade union movement. Long live the working class. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people.
Let's come, Elder. And you know, I'm glad that almost every comrade that come up here, they are identifying part of the problem is the 1%. And it's not just me or OWTU. So 100% of us are identifying the 1% that really creating the problem for the rest of us. As we move along, let me call to the microphone, representing the Amalgamated Workers Union, Chief Labor Relations Officer, here to give us a short solidarity greeting here this morning. Let us welcome Comrade Rajkumar Narayan Singh to the microphone.
Comrades all, good morning. I bring fraternal greetings to you from the Amalgamated Workers Union. Comrades, our union represents a working class that earns a meager salary on average in Trinidad and Tobago. We have employers that feel that the politicians' mantra that you have to use more for less, or rather get more from less, is what these workers have to live by. Comrades, we are here today to send a clear message to Robert Bermudez, to the mayor of Port of Spain, to the owner of Belgroves, Eastside Plaza, and all the other employers in Port of Spain. Comrades, we will not be accepting this. And we are going to come out, comrades, in our numbers and make the call. Zero, we cannot negotiate. We will not negotiate. Comrades, I thank you very much. Keep well and power to all.
As we move along, comrades, let me immediately call to the microphone here the General Secretary of the Transport Industrial Workers Union. Join me in welcoming to the microphone, Comrade Stanislaus. Comrade.
Yeah. Morning. Yes, comrades. Good morning, comrades. Good morning, comrades. Comrades, I like to see we coming together like this. I like to see we coming together like this because at the end of the day, Comrade, there's only two classes of people here. Now I'm listening to people talking about the politics and this and that. Comrade, all I see is class. Working class and upper class. And we know who in the upper class. Comrade, we is the working class. And every single time, it has get me bitter when I see what is going on. And I'm going to give you an example. Comrade, I'm going to be brief. Comrade, if you notice on the news a couple nights, we had something in PTSD with the transport union representing bus workers. Comrades, for years, we've been dealing with issues in PTSD, from no uniform to augmentation of the fleet to carry we serve the people. Comrades, ops management change. Well, you know management doesn't change every 5 years, right? And we have a new breed of management. And it's not only in PTSD. It's a disease penetrating all the working class companies, especially those in the public sector. A disease where they feel they can come and bully, push, and do what they want. Comrade, some years ago, TU and CW was faced with communications. And it's true that tragedy was birthed JTUM, the Joint Trade Union Movement. Comrade, PTSD holding the flag again. And I want to come again. But if there's one message I want you to let them know today, you see, any one of the people who come in to try and test the working class, as we did it some years ago, the message that they want to send is when you touch one, you touch all. Comrade, I need you. When you touch one, you touch all. Right, comrade, we're going forward today. Love all you. That is my time.
Thank you very much, Comrade Stanislaus. A blow to one, a blow to all. This other comrade, representing very important neighbor union. Neighbor union, I say to the OWTU here in San Fernando. I speak of none other than the Contractors and General Workers Union. Representing that union here this morning, let us call to the microphone, invite her with a hearty welcome, round of applause, Sister Hazel Wilson, Executive Member of the Contractor and General Workers Union.
Comrade, good morning. Good morning. No retreat? No surrender. No retreat? No surrender. No retreat? No surrender. Comrade, this morning I bring solidarity from our union, Contractors and General Workers Trade Union. And one of the things I want to tell my comrades this morning I want to tell you all about the condition our workers in. That they are hardly employing any workers in San Fernando City Corporation. Only the guaranteed people, right, with very few casual people. Just imagine people is going on holidays and they're not replacing them. Comrades, it is a tedious time now. We have to bind together. We have to knit ourselves together. And we have to fight for our rights. Comrades, let us join with love to fight for our rights in San Fernando and all over the world. I bring solidarity, right? And I ask Jesus to walk with us and talk with us. No retreat. No surrender. No retreat. No surrender. No retreat. No surrender.
Very important. Starting with the temporary workers, the casual workers, not replacing them. When people go on holiday, absolutely no replacement. And if we think that that is a fight for those workers, we're making a sad mistake. Protecting the casual and temporary workers, indeed protecting every worker, is protecting yourself as workers, comrades. And we must see that as our responsibility first and foremost. As we move along, let me call to the microphone here the representative representing the Federation of Independent Trade Unions and NGOs. Let us invite to the microphone Comrade Ashton Cunningham. Let's welcome in, comrade.
Good morning, comrades. I bring solidarity greetings on behalf of the Federation of Independent Unions and NGOs. This morning I say to you, workers are under attack. Workers are under attack. And why do I say that? When you look, what are your working conditions? What are your working conditions? We have the recurring issue of unhealthy and unsafe working conditions throughout Trinidad and Tobago, in the government and in the private sector. So we are under attack from working conditions. We are also under attack from contract work. And why do I say that? Because there is the propensity, there is the tendency now to go towards contract work instead of giving you permanent employment. And this we must resist. We must resist all of this, because at the end of the day, what are your terminal benefits as a contract work as against a permanent worker? What do you get? So these are some of the things that workers are under attack against. Workers are also under attack from the high food prices. You have increase in food prices going up every day. Every day when you walk to the groceries, you go to the pharmacy, you go even to the market. You go to the market where you get your vegetables. You see the prices are going up every day. And in return, what is happening to your salaries? What is happening to your salaries? Most of us here today are working on a 2014 salary. We would have completed negotiations for that period, and no new negotiation has started. So workers, we are under attack. And for today, as around the world, we must stand in solidarity and register our dissatisfaction, as we will as we go out there today, and say, solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever!
Thank you very much, Comrade Cunningham, General Secretary of Phyton. To live, we must feed ourselves. We must eat. We must eat the right thing and at the right price. I want to bring on the next comrade, a comrade who is no stranger to us here in San Fernando, indeed in Trinidad and Tobago. Let us welcome to the microphone the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Farmers Union, Comrade Shiraz Khan. Let's welcome the comrade.
Morning, comrades. Morning. A good morning, Mayday to you all, my brothers and sisters. Farmers of this country continue to eat the bread that the devil needs from all the governments that come through here. Today, our farmers are faced with a number of problems over the amount of years I've been telling you all that. You just recently hear that Petrotrin was owing the government some $5 billion in taxes. Why it is that all can't understand how important the damn agriculture is in this country. How important it is to feed the people. Look at how much money Petrotrin owing all year. Give you a little kakada from that and let me fix agriculture. But what happened to all these governments? They want land. I don't know what happened with all of them. They only want the farmers' land. They won't go in the bush and take the house and put it there, you know. They want the land in the tongue to build houses. Right now, brothers and sisters, when you all want a little mango tree, a starch mango or zabuka, we don't south of the bridge, so I could say zabuka, and a little pomsitia tree or something like that, they want to close down the St. Augustine nurseries. They already closed down the nursery in Santa Cruz that they're only selling flowers. People is eat flowers to live. You understand? They're only selling flowers, so they're attracting a different echelon of people in Santa Cruz. Now they want to close down the St. Augustine nurseries, so when you could go and get a little mango or zabuka for a little $15 or $20, they want you to go by La Vega and pay $200. So they already privatized certain aspects of the agriculture sector, so they want to shove it up now. How long all you will not understand
what is going on in this country. But when the farmers talk, you hear them fanatics saying, oh, them farmers always want land. But who want more land than the government, and they have so much? It's time that we understand how important feeding ourselves in this country. When each and every household could grow a little garden and grow something, they're taking away that from us. That is what the St. Augustine nurseries mean to all the people, not farmers, to the people of this country. And what happening? Who you think going to build a house? They're telling you everything about the design. How many houses, how many people they put in there. But didn't tell you which one are the 1% going to build the blasted house. They didn't say that. And what happening? They want to hustle to build the house because it's kickback for the election coming. Long live the farmers, long live the workers, long live JTUM, and long live the 99%. Long live the 99% who will continue to fight, fight, and fight. Thank you, comrade.
Thank you very much. Comrade Shiraz Khan, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Farmers Union. Now, comrades, we have come, with one exception, we have come to the end of our short solidarity greetings and address before we kick off this May Day March here 2018. But I want you to a warm San Fernando welcome. Warm May Day 2018 welcome as we bring to the microphone a comrade, a soldier, a fighter, a veteran, an elder. Let us welcome the President of the Banking and Insurance General Workers Union, Comrade Vincent Cabrera.
Good morning, everyone. Comrade Ancel Roget, President General of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union and leader of the Joint Trade Union Movement. My fellow trade union leaders, members and supporters from more than 15 trade unions gathered here, Comrade David Abdullah and the members of the Movement for Social Justice, welcome to the revolution! Yeah. Welcome to the revolution! Yeah. Welcome to the revolution! As we gather here today, it is useful to remember that is the trade union movement that is responsible for every collective agreement that you benefit from in this country. It is useful to remember that whether it is sick leave, vacation leave, pension plan, whatever benefit, it is the trade union movement responsible for that in Trinidad and Tobago. And whether your salary is good, bad, or indifferent, it is only the trade union movement is responsible for raising your salaries. No government does it, no employer does it, it is the trade union movement. So let us get that straight from the very beginning. A revolution means a meaningful and fundamental change in the way we think and the way we behave. And so our thinking and behavior must be aligned to the vision of a new society, free of the naked oppression which so many workers suffer from in Trinidad and Tobago today. A revolution means a fundamental change in the relationship between employers and workers. I would like to call on the society to abandon this regulation-based industrial relations system and replace it with a system that is based on rights. There are other countries that have done it, including Ireland. We need an industrial relations system based on rights. R-I-G-H-T-S. Because in Trinidad and Tobago today, there are many workers who are not allowed to practice their rights. There are many workers who do not know their rights. And when you stand up for your rights, there are many workers who suffer from that too. And it is sad that a day like today, when we should be celebrating in unity, there are some trade unions are not here. And I know they will accuse Cabrera of wanting this unity because my back broad. But I want to say one thing. God see it, God know it, and I talk it. Yes. And there are 11 members of my union today working with the PSA who are madman. I don't know his name, but whenever you think about him, you want to puke. You want to puke. He had the audacity to fire 11 of those workers belonging to the Banking, Insurance, and General Workers Union. And I want all of the workers here, if you all are serious, to join with me and say, on behalf of the dismissed 11, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. I want to continue by saying that we want to put an end to the dictatorship of the employer in Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine you have a negotiations in the ministry and you have to apply for time off for your members to come to that. That has to be nonsense. We are allowing the employers to get rid of too much in Trinidad and Tobago. And this thing called retrenchment. Every time there's a retrenchment, we have a big march, big hullabaloo, but the workers end up going home. I wish one of these days, when they come to retrench some, the whole company goes down and the whole of Trinidad goes down. That will be the end of the retrenchment. I hear all you only want Roget and the other comrades to be up and down Ministry of Labour Industrial Court. Ministry of Labour Industrial Court. Workers have never won victories except on the streets. Yes. Understand that. Comrades, today we join the international working class in the Caribbean, in America, Asia, Europe, and the Pacific region in celebrating May Day 2018. This international celebration comes at a time when neoliberalism and globalization have created big challenges for us. These global capitalistic forces, with the use of the capitalist media, are pushing the agenda of privatization. They want to privatize Petrotren. They want to privatize WASA. They want to privatize First Citizens Bank. And if you're not careful, somebody said TT Post too. If you're not careful, they will be privatizing education and health too. And if you're not careful, one of these days they will get up and put on your TV station, turn to CNN, and you will see a map of Trinidad and Tobago with a picket in it marked for sale. Understand what I am saying? We join today with the revolutionary working class in Venezuela, who are involved in a great battle against imperialism led by Donald Trump. I have information, and I hope the Archbishop listen to what I'm saying. I saw him on TV last night, and Anelli said, Archbishop, take off your gong and come and join us and march today. Yes. Because I have information that there are at least 2 organizations in Venezuela that have been encouraging Venezuelans to immigrate to Trinidad. There's also a law firm in Trinidad encouraging Venezuelans to come here illegally. And more than that, They're taking large sums of money from these Venezuelans and losing every case in the court. They have never won a case. But I am saying that we must have concern for our labor. And whether it is poor wages being paid to Venezuelans, Nigerians, Portuguese, Guyanese, and many other immigrants, it is time for us to call on the government for an appropriate migration policy for Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine you paid a Venezuelan welder $40 a day. That is what they're doing in Trinidad, these blasted capitalists. I am saying that the migration policy must be fair to any migrant that comes to Trinidad. It must be fair to their labor. But it must be fair to our labor too. Yes. Understand that? And every immigrant that comes to Trinidad and Tobago and working for a little bit of money causes the money we work for to go down and down and down. Understand that? So, Mr. Archbishop, don't make Trinidad and Tobago the living waters for the imperialist backlash that is coming out of Venezuela. We join too with the revolutionary working class in Cuba, who have successfully defended their socialist revolution despite the aggression of many US presidents. And I want to announce today that we have a large delegation of Trinidadian and Tobagonian trade unionists marching in Havana today with the workers in Cuba. Put your hands together and give them a round of applause. The Joint Trade Union Movement calls on the government of Trinidad and Tobago to move quickly to settle all outstanding negotiations. Teachers, public servants, all kinds of workers in Trinidad in the public service, including the workers who work for the PSA, have not had a salary increase since 2010. Since 2010. Comrades, do you support that? No. Do you support that? No. Listen, I have nothing against the government, have I? But hold your answer, no so. I have nothing against the government, but perhaps the only thing that will make them get serious and bring wages up from 2010 to 2018 is a blasted general strike. Yes. Roger, I only say perhaps, eh? I only say perhaps. But I am saying that teachers and all other people who are 2010 salaries, that is not fair. That is not right. It is the children of the workers who are suffering. And we must struggle today against that. Comrades, I want to make a point here that some people may not be too happy with. But I believe when you have traitors on board, it's to throw them overboard. Yes. I believe if you have misfits in the trade union movement, you must get rid of them. And there's a misfit masquerading as a trade union leader, only wearing suit and tie. Tell him stop wearing suit and tie and put on a union jersey because he don't like union jersey. First trade union leader don't like trade union jersey. And I want to say that the workers of PSA, their pension is not being funded. How would you feel if when you leave your work, you have no chance of getting a pension, although they're taking out money all the time? That is Mr. Puke for you. I am saying to him, workers will not suffer silently in Trinidad and Tobago. Any employer, all employers must hear today, workers will not suffer silently in Trinidad and Tobago. They will protest. And I am saying, for those people who have been saying that Cabrera interfered in PSA elections, how the hell I could interfere in PSA elections? I could vote. But if I have to interfere, I will tell the 3 or 4 groups, come together. Unity is strength. Yes, yes. You accuse me of interfering, well, I damn well interfere now. If all you come together, I will support all you. But I'm not supporting nobody if all you remain disunited. Comrades, we in Trinidad and Tobago as a labor movement, we are simply surviving. We are not raising the standard of workers in Trinidad, the standard of living again. It's only to survive, survive, survive. I call on this May Day rally to immediately begin a fight back. Stop the exploitation of the people. With billions and profits, the banks, for example, say Republic, offering the workers of Republic a paltry 6%. Nothing could be worse than that. They're making billions, literally billions in profit, but they're offering workers 6%. I am of the view that they should take that 6% and put it somewhere unmentionable. A special mention must be made of the 1%, which epitomizes the rampant inequality in our society. And I have a feeling that the reason why the government is not measuring inequality, this society is maybe as unequal or even more unequal in the days of slavery and indentureship. We're more unequal now. So comrades, for May Day 2018, we must not be silent. I want to hear your voices. We must raise our voices. And we must be heard, so we must say. And you know I like the thing, fire. So all employers who are retrenching workers, what we say? Fire! 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 I hear all you. To all dictators who are employers, what we say? Fire! 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 To all agents of neoliberalism and globalization, what we say? Fire! 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 To all those who want to destabilize Venezuela and Cuba, what we say? Fire! 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 And to all those who are perpetrators against social justice, we say fire! 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 Long live the trade union movement! Power to the workers of the country! Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of Begu, Comrade Vincent Cabrera. Comrade, we have come to the end. We are now at the end of this short address. We are getting ready to hit the road. But before we do that, I want to make a couple announcements. Listen carefully. First one, I want to bring to you here this morning solidarity greetings on the occasion of May Day 2018 from a trade union in Venezuela, Federation of Socialist Workers of Venezuela. From that union, let us thank them for their warm solidarity greetings here with us here this morning. Let me make some recognitions, and I'm going to call to order all of the trade unions here gathered. But before I do that, let me pay special recognition to a brother, a comrade, who has remained true to form, who has continued to solidly stay with the trade union movement. I'm talking about none other than a friend and comrade, a brother, the leader, the political leader of the movement for social justice. Where's David? Let us recognize Comrade David Abdullah. Let us also recognize the retirees here with us, and in particular, Comrade Clyde Kalinda, former president of the Point of Prayer branch. And as I call the names of the various trade unions, you know what to do. Tutor in the house. Not in the schools today. Tutor in the house. Sanitation workers in the house. Fire Service Association in the house. Prison Officers Association in the house. Maxi Taxi Association. Transport Industrial Workers Union in the house. Postal Workers Union. Amalgamated Workers Union. Communication Workers Union. All right. Hold it tight. Contractor and General Workers Union. Trinidad and Tobago Farmers Union. All right, this one we want to hear here, comrades. Banking, Insurance, General Workers Union. Who did they vote? Everybody here? We had farmers. All right. And last, and by no means least. Yeah, I mentioned. Yeah. And by no means least, let us make our presence felt here this morning in the house of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union. OWTU soldiers! That's still not good enough. OWTU soldiers! Sounding like gladiators, that's what we're talking about. But I have one very solemn but important duty to perform. And I thought that I would wait at the end of all of these addresses to make this announcement and to call on you to join me in this particular recognition. It was over the weekend, comrades, that a soldier, a fighter, a comrade, one of our very own in the OWTU, former executive officer of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union, true to the bone, OWTU to the soul. Sadly, we lost that comrade. And it was on Saturday, sometime on Saturday last. And that is none other than our comrade, retiree, former executive officer, comrade Errol Allen McLeod. I want you now to observe complete silence as we pay our respect and recognize this precious moment of silence on this May Day 2018 in respect of the passing of a true soldier, Errol Allen McLeod.
Okay.
Pleasant morning, comrade. can talk. They wish to continue to respect left, right, and center. Yes, they want to control time Trinidad and Tobago. We are saying in the labor movement that we have presented the government with an alternative plan. Yes, we have presented them with an alternative economic plan. They have taken it into consideration. They continue to cry opposition. All of the big companies in Trinidad and Tobago are declaring massive profits. The same problem that success in the USA. They have run Trinidad and posted not effective basket double in front and wait for the fight, the aggression of the labor movement. That children would have ended up in the hands of ownership to the other. You are saying to buy or defend what ensure a better day as we struggle to make that of Tobago. Sanitation workers are under sanitation workers. So with workers of sanitation, yes, they are sacrificing
May your best smile.
Come on, let's smile. Hold on, camera.
Yeah, we on camera. You spoil the camera, man. This man can spoil the camera.
Better than you tried.
No retreat. No surrender.
No surrender. Jojo.
Yeah. Because you see, Postal is shoot real fast. And then the divide one and then they go.
Accomplishment and achievement of our 8-hour work day. let us understand what is central to this day that we call May Day. There was a time when internationally there was no overtime. There was a time when you have to work long hours, short pay, in some cases no pay at all, and being brutalized by your employers. And workers took to the streets. Workers took the struggle to a higher height. And in 1986, it culminated in thousands and thousands of workers across the globe, across the world, celebrating the achievement of this 8-hour workday. And today, in Trinidad and Tobago, for the longest while, we here as workers, we also would have benefited from this 8-hour workday. Sometimes, comrades, sometimes it is unfortunate that we take these achievements for granted, and it is because we take the damn thing for granted, we allow it to slip away. We have to know that all of the gains that we have achieved, including this 8-hour workday, were gains that were fought for on the backs and shoulders of the giants that went before. Those comrades who themselves would have lost their lives for us to achieve what we are achieving today. And you know, the employers, they wouldn't celebrate on May Day. No, they want you to forget that. The employers, they want you to forget your struggle. Because if you forget your struggle, you forget your history. And if you forget your history, you are doomed to making the same mistake to their benefit. And so today, we have the best pension plans, medical plans, saving plans, holiday, paid for holiday, emergency leave, paid emergency leave, all of these benefits. But you know what? Every single one of those benefits are under serious threat of being removed. And comrades are correct. The fight now, the first part of the battle, is not to improve it enough, but it's to keep those benefits, keep all of those benefits. And unfortunately, some of us, unfortunately, we provide ammunition for the employers. We provide ammunition for those who belong to another class, which class does not hold our interest. And so we are prepared to give up on the altar of expediency for some little extra hours. Give up very important and significant parts of our collective agreements. So people are prepared to give back the 8-hour work and work 12 hours. People are prepared to sell their souls on the altar of some little extra dollars while you fight, the fight for those benefits goes to zero. We are saying, comrades, that the first thing we have to do is to know that no employer, no government would have given you, the comrades were correct, would have given you those benefits. None of them. But all of them, once they get into office, every single one of them without fail attack all of those benefits. They join with the employers and attack those benefits. So today, while we celebrate those achievements, while we beseech you to enlist your support for the battle, the greatest battle perhaps we have never seen in recent history, while we ask you to do that, we ask you to pay attention to what is happening. Pay close attention, comrades, because today, thousands and thousands of workers have gone home. This government, and you know, if you say or you're feeling hurt, or anybody feeling hurt, because you consider what we are about to say, what I'm about to say is an attack on your party, well, I'm sorry, you have to feel it. Because the truth is the truth. And unless and until, comrades, we are prepared to confront the truth in its most raw form, then and only then we'll be able to take positions to save ourselves. We have to come out of this state of denial. And so while we support the union on the one hand, we find ourselves giving them support in their numbers. Yes, Petra, you're correct. Wearing the red jerseys and the yellow jerseys. Taking time off to give people power to use that power against you. That has to stop. It has to stop. And I need to remind you, comrades, I need to remind you, it was only recently when a fella who had a problem with another fella, and that other fella was the former political leader of the PNM. He had a problem with that fella. You know, in the trade union business, something tells me that if you have a leader and you're trying to undermine the leader and you're trying to take over from the leader, you're trying to mash up the union or to mash up the party just for you to lead it. Watch it, something wrong with you. Watch it. And for quite a while, me and Patrick Manning was never no friend, but for quite a while he had been hinting that that fella wanted to destroy the party for his own interest. And it seems as the only thing that he wanted to do is to prove to Manning that he could be Prime Minister. Because he went up and down throughout the length and breadth of the country saying that he is the best man for the job and that he is qualified. He is the longest serving parliamentarian, and that if there's anybody who is fit, in fact, inside the party itself, he condemned the person who was contested and presented himself as a beacon of honesty, as a beacon of the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing could be further from the truth. And why am I singling out the individual? I am singling out that individual because he asked for the job. He asked for the job. He said that those who were governing, they were not governing in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago. And to give him and his party a chance, and that they will do better. And that they will maintain a standard of living. And that they will make sure that the place is safe. And that they will ensure that they have proper health care. And that they will ensure that the teaching service commits itself and deliver a higher level of education. And that they will ensure that senior citizens are treated with respect. Nothing can be further from the truth. And again, I listen to all of the comrades, including Comrade Victoria. You're so correct. I have to pull out pieces of what you said. Every single government that comes into office, the one thing that they do immediately is begin to put things in place to finance the financiers, to provide for those who would have financed their parties. Nothing for the masses, nothing for the thousands and thousands of citizens who are suffering, and which citizens they ask for their support to get into office. So then what? Here's what we have. The man said he wants the job. He will do a better job. I want to ask you today, and it's a rhetorical question. I am sure, comrades, that if you go from citizen to citizen, I walk throughout the length and breadth of this country, and the one common theme people tell you, the one common statement they make, poor people make, unemployed people make, is that, listen, Comrade Roget, President, Union man, we suffered in the country, we suffered like hell. It is like everything stalled, and it is like we are now sitting ducks while the criminals have their way, and while the politicians have their say, and while the 1% continue to gain everything at the expense of all of us. Comrade, do something about it. That is what they tell us when we walk the street. Union man, you are our only hope. The only hope, Union man. Help us, because the politicians only about fooling us. That is what they tell us. And so we have a duty to perform. We cannot disappoint. But I was making the point that the same person who committed to doing different, here's what we have. Here's what we have now. Since this government came into office, we have had the Ancel Roget, they took the brunt of it up front. Then we had somewhere around there the JTUM city workers. Then we had TDC workers. And then we continue to have, and those are the ones that we know, we continue to have on a daily basis workers going home, workers being severed from their jobs. We continue to see the signaling of this government's intention to sell out state enterprises to private interests. We continue to see them signal that, listen, we don't care about our land. We are going to implement a wage freeze, remember that? Absolutely no discussion about negotiations. Now the hell you could have collective agreements expiring dates going way back to 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and in 2018, and there's absolutely no discussion at all about our collective agreements. I am not today saying that we are demanding a pound of flesh in terms of increases, but goodness gracious me, man, have some respect for the labor movement and understand the discussions about these collective agreements that are outstanding. And something tells me that if we don't respect ourselves and demand respect from the vagabonds, and then they will continue to disrespect us. So you know what? You have money for us. You have the responsibility to come into the table and tell us, let us start these negotiations now, and let us see how we are going to quantify the debts that is owed to all of the workers. But you know what? Why they tell you the country have no money? The contractor friends continue to get big contract. The contractor friends continue to be paying outstanding money. Why they tell you the country don't have any money? The comrades were correct. The banks continue to declare hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in profits. Coming from where? Coming from where? Sapping the very souls taken out of the economy, the little that you have as poor people, and putting it into their own private bank accounts and arrangements. So when they tell you that the country don't have any money, they mean the country don't have money for you. When they tell you that your negotiations, no discussion on it, it means that disrespect for you. But I want to tell them something to it. The equation has to change. This thing has to change, comrade. It has to change. Who would have ever believed in the wildest dream that the name Calco would have continued to feature under a PLM government? They cussed out Calco left, right, and center. They condemned the Harris government. They talk about corruption up and down the place, all over the country. And they were the most honest people. But you know, who hugging up Calco now? Who in bed with Calco right now? Who would have Calco benefit as a result of arrangements? Well, they tell you, no money for you, no beds in the hospital. Yeah, you walk the streets, comrades. You walk the streets, fragrance on the streets. And you know something? Let us be honest, comrades. It is like every time a PLM government in office, the place does just get hard and everything bad. Rain refuses to fall, when it falls in bucket and drop. Pothole all over the place. You no longer have pothole, a crater in the road. If you miss one, the next one take you. It seems that the place is going backward under a backward PLM government and under a backward Prime Minister called Dr. Keith Rowley. Let us recognize that. Absolutely no ideas. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Absolutely no ideas at all. You have one man, short on ideas and everything else, running the government because Rowley don't know his head, something else, for example. Yeah, he don't know. So he listens to a short midget, a misfit, who seeks the interest of the 1%. So, cut back on workers going home. Their answer to the problem is to send workers home. And he would stand before a meeting, and you'll have to stop that. He would stand before a meeting which he invite you for, too. That's Dr. Rowley. Now, my time for talking about that I've done. Be dealt with that already. I'm not going to spend no time on camera here. We dealt with that already, which is why he's in office. So he has the responsibility, and that is why I'm targeting him. So he will stand in a meeting, a public meeting, when workers are present, and tell you that we have to make sacrifice, and the thing hard, the country had no money, so we had to endure the pain. And when he says that, he talks about you going home. And if you clap for that, you're clapping for your very existence, going out of existence. You going home. You giving him support to send you home. This thing, something has to be wrong with this boy. The equation upside down. The house, the roof on the ground, the post in the air, something wrong with that. We no longer could support anybody who tell us that we have to sacrifice by us going home. No. If there's anybody who wants to go, we have to be clear about it and we have to be prepared to send his backside home, right back going. I noticed that you're afraid to do that. You're afraid to do that. And that fear to do that is what they're playing upon. We have information, comrades, that he said to his people in a general a particular leader said in a particular general council, well, if they want Kamla, they don't take Kamla. In fact, at a meeting where the Joint Trade Union Movement was calling on the Prime Minister to make changes to the Industrial Relations Act, to make changes to the Severance and Benefit Act, to protect workers who are being sent home, to make it unattractive for employers. Because the first and only thing that the employer wants to do is to send workers home. At that meeting, responding to the Steelworkers Union, who only a week ago would have put down a protest in his backside outside La Fantasy at the residence, official residence of the Prime Minister. The first thing he said in that meeting is that, listen, we are bound for this work, you know. We are bound for this work as Prime Minister. I could give back this work because he was getting that pressure because of the protest. So what he really trying to say is that we are bound for this thing, what about the protest. And at the end of the day, if I do whatever I want to do, and I put policies in place, and they're like that, we are bound for that. And then we have to say that that is not what you asked for when you asked for the job. He said that to them. We had to say, in fact, I had to say to him, listen, Mr. Prime Minister, with all due respect, when you asked for the job and you committed to do better to make changes for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we had no idea that you don't want the job in it. So you better change that around. But I'm hearing, comrades, and I'm going to break the news to you here today. You don't hear it in Washington. I'm hearing that this Prime Minister is a lazy son of a bitch, and that he depends on all those incompetent ministers to do things all over the place. And so while he says that you have to deal with the Minister of Labour, or deal with this minister or that minister, it is a demonstration of laziness. Because at the end of the day, the Prime Minister is responsible ultimately for what happens in his government. They have failed, Congress. They have failed so far to govern in the interests of all of us. And our responsibility is to tell them that they have failed. We cannot, you can't give somebody a job and they fail at the job and then give them a passport. Something had to be wrong with that, especially when you pay them. Let's remember that we pay the government. We pay the ministers. If we don't work, they don't get paid. But when they don't work, we lose our job. And when we lose our job, nobody gets paid. That's not how we want to play this game, brothers. We have to change that. I think there's one thing that we must do is be convicted, have the level of depth of conviction to call a spade a spade. There's this deafening sound of silence. This resounding sound of silence. This silence that seems to deafen everybody in the country. And that is the silence that they are playing upon. Because they believe that, as the short midget said, he could raise what? Gas price once, and there was no rise. He raised it twice, and there was no rise. He might raise it again, and he raised it. And then he said, he will implement a wage freeze. In fact, he has implemented a wage freeze. But what happened to the voices? What has happened to the hundreds of thousands of voices? Voices that we raise against that same hypocrisy, that same level of criminality that was unleashed to the population under the last government. What has happened to that? We have become a very hypocritical society. And I'm not now talking to you that are here. I'm talking to the thousands who gave them support by side. While thousands of workers are on the streets and are at home, you have a ministry now. That Ministry of Labour now is now called the Ministry of Silence. You have the most silent minister, Minister of Labour, Minister of Silence. Absolutely nothing coming from a Minister of Labour. While thousands of workers go home, while multinationals do what they want, while workers work in unsafe conditions, while all the benefits go down the drain, while the banks and the employers and the elites continue to declare huge profit. Silence silence, silence from the minister. Silence from the man. And that is what we are faced with. And so, if we continue, comrades, we will have what? More crime, more vagrancy, more of our patients, our comrades going to the hospital and getting no beds. Let's just talk about that for a while. At the hospitals today, we have a shortage of nursing staff. We have a shortage of healthcare workers. We have a shortage of beds. We have a shortage of medicine. We have a shortage of diagnostic machinery. We have a shortage of everything at the hospital. What in fact you're experiencing there is a very compromised healthcare system. And while that happened, you have a big hospital which should not have been built in the first place. But you have a big hospital like vacant as a monument for you to look at every day you pass up the area. You go up, you look at it, you go back down, and they get just sick because they cannot provide the requisite health care for our citizens. And what happens? Their friends at the private institutions continue to fall. So we go to the medicals, the hospital here, no type of attention, and let's just say thank God for the few healthcare workers that continue to work tirelessly and try to make ends meet with the limited resources that we have at their disposal. Let's thank them for that. If not for them, we will be in deep problem. But comrades, a poor healthcare system, prices continue to go up. The education system continues to fail. Police service in a disarray. Crime is at its worst. And let me just say something about that. About a month ago, or 6 weeks ago, we took the position that we have to make our voices heard on the issue of crime. Because as trade unionists, our responsibility as we see it, comrades, is not just to collective bargaining to the ministry and to the court. We come from the wider society. We come from communities. And if those communities and the wider society is impacted with crime and criminal activity, we too, as workers, are not safe. Our brothers and sisters are not safe. Our elders are not safe. And you could have the best negotiation indeed, you could get your back pay and you would not be able to enjoy it if you abandoned confront. And so we took the position that, listen, they're not listening to the Prison Officers Association with an active and comprehensive prison reform. And therefore, every government, their first responsibility is for the safety and security of the citizens. And if they cannot live up to that responsibility, they have failed from the onset. And this government, by indication, clearly has failed from the onset to deal with the economic crime situation. And when we talk about that, hear what Mr. Man said. Mr. Man tried to twist the discussion and say that I say that he is responsible for the fellow that killed the 4 people in Labridge. And I say he is responsible for some domestic violence that led to murder somewhere else in Sawa or some other part of the country. And he says that to his supporters, which supporters are themselves sitting ducks, and which supporters clap for that. That could not be further from the truth. What we have seen since they came into office is more guns, more drugs, more murders. And I'm talking about murders excluding domestic violence. I'm talking about murders that is as a result of the arms and ammunition that comes through our unprotected borders. No discussion at all about the border. You remember the talk? Kamla remove the OPV. Kamla make the border porous. And all of the supporters talking every day. And it is because of the porous border we have all this crime taking place. And that Tukaran and Kamla, they move all the OPV. Now what you did to the borders today, those borders are unprotected at the highest level in the history of our border in Trinidad and Tobago. It's not no porous border, it's porous because us are in problems because guns and ammunition and drugs continue to come in here under this PNM government. And we have to tell them like it is. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? The formula for them is to send workers home. The formula for them, as I said, is to sell out your petrol train. Sell out or privatize to the extent that they are allowed to TM10, WASA, and of course, the hospitals, of course, the healthcare services, of course, complete the privatization of the prison system, because make no mistake about it, part of that whole penal arrangement is in private hands already. Who transport our accused young brothers and sisters? It is as though we are back on the plantation. So when young African men huddle into a van and people make money for that by taking them from one part of the country to another part of the country, guaranteeing food on the plate of the 1%, they benefit. And they benefit from the crime, criminal activity, and the guns that come into this country. Because they are guaranteed on their budget every year hundreds of millions of dollars by crime and criminal activity continue to escalate in this country. And so, comrades, I am saying that they have failed, and we are at the point now where the only formula for them is to cut back and cut back. What about the temporary workers? And I heard about the temporary workers in the city corporation here. They start with the temporary workers, not filling vacancies. And when that happens, what in fact they are doing is by attrition, retrenching workers and setting you up to be the next set of workers to be set to. But over our dead bodies, comrades, over our dead bodies. The latest plan they have is to what? Increase the retirement age from 60 to 65. Let me just say that again so it will resonate with you. If you are thinking that next year you're going to retire and you're going to work back, and in addition to the little pension that you have, which pension is already meager, because as the pension remains static, the cost of living continue to render less and less every year. Because as prices go up and your pension remains the same, you have less disposable income. But if you're thinking that to augment that pension, you will now have NIS, an NIS that you would have paid all your working life to support that pension. Think again, in what world you're not going to have that. Because in what world and keep Rowley world, what they want to do, if they have their way, is to remove the retirement age from 60 to 65. So if you're 59, you have what, 6 years to wait. If you're 58, you have what? What's the matter? 7 years to wait, and so on, and so on. So the PLM people who thinking that, hey, listen, you're counting that little money in your pocket, that you're going to get this little kakada to support the other little kakada. Think again, in Imbert world, just as he said that he would have raised gas prices and nobody protests, if you say nothing, you have to wait until you reach 65. No longer will you be enjoying the retirement party, and I've been to many of those retirement parties. Where comrades would have worked there all their working life. And at the end of the day, the comrades who remain, pay respect to them, and keep a little party for them. Some of them used to buy a recliner and so on, some big screen TV for them, some gift for them as they always retire. Retirement party. No longer will you have retirement party in Botswana. What in fact you're going to be having is a wait, because you'll be moving from your work straight to your grave. Because their intention is to walk you till you're dead. Pay absolutely no benefit, delay a benefit, hope that you're dead between now and 65, so they will have absolutely nothing to pay. I want to say today If I have to choose between me and somebody, who going to live? Who you going to choose? That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. If you have to choose between you and them, and you to get that benefit, or you to listen to them and you wait, what is the going to choose? We are in the national tripartite arrangement. We had some problems with that arrangement. And the problems we had with that arrangement was that while we were discussing issues relating to workers, telling them they need to stem the tide, stop the retrenchment of workers, telling them they have to hasten the amendment of all of the laws, registration and recognition to make it easier for workers to be represented, amending the laws with respect to retrenchment and severance benefit act to hasten that process. No discussions were taking place with respect to those things. No discussions were taking place with respect to money owed with outstanding negotiations. And so we said that we are suspending our arrangement now in front. Well, they said, listen, go back, and the government will commit to doing all those things. No such things happen. Today, I want to put on a list that you see this NIS benefit, you see this NIS age moving from 60 to 65. But before I go, let me take a photo on that. All who agree with Rowley and Imbert, and let me tell you, I don't respect nobody who don't respect the system. What's there? I don't respect anybody who disrespects the trade union movement. So just as I could have said Kamla, I could say Rowley. Just as I could have said Kamla, I could say Rottweiler. I could say that. Because I demand respect for those who work, sweat for this country. I'm talking about workers and the movement. If you don't respect us, we don't respect you. So all who agree with Rowley that you should wait till you reach 65, till you're near dead, if you're lucky to live, to get an NIS benefit. Show your hand. All who agree with your union that you're paid full benefit for your NIS, and you must get it from the first week when you retire at 60. Show my experience. How are you talking about? And all who agree that we must ensure that they hasten the amendments to the Severance Benefit Act, the amendments to the Retrenchment and Benefits Act, the Companies Act, to ensure that workers, if they are retrenched at all, that they get some level of compensation. All who agree for that, show by your hands. But I want to be clear, because I'm going further, comrades. And sometimes this exercise, an exercise in reality will be painful. Sometimes I'm going further. So let me ask, all who agree that we have had a deterioration in the healthcare system since this PNM government come to office, show by your raise your hand. All who agree that this PNM government sit idly by and allow thousands and thousands of workers to go home, show by the rest of your hand. All who agree that this PNM government has performed worse in respect of crime and criminal activity, that crime and murders is at the worst this country has ever seen under this Rowley government. Show by the rest of your hand. I want you. Some hands are getting tired, but we are here with the show. All who agree that this government doing a good job, show by the rest of your hand. All who agree that this government has failed to govern this country in the interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and is only governing in the interest of the elite, show by the rest of your hand. Coming down to the ultimate. Any one of us who carpenter and mason or to cut the grass in the yard. An electrician. Watch the electrician, watch them. Watch the electrician.
Yeah, watch them.
Watch them. But my point is, comrades, anybody who employ anybody to do a job home by you and that person is not doing the job, should you pay that person? But if you employ that person to put up a wall, to fix the electrical system, or your plumbing, or to clean your yard while you're at work, and that person is not doing a good job, should you fire that person? Yes! So all who agree that these son of a bitches who are not doing a good job, who ask for a job to make the place better and have failed, all who agree that if they continue to come at us, we should send their backsides home, show back the rest of your hand. But I'm glad to hear that. Because you see, you are reading the book, a book called From Mason Hall to Whitehall. The fellow write a book, you know. As he becomes Prime Minister, he write a book. And here the book. From Mason Hall to Whitehall. That was interested in. But that book is incomplete. You see this attack on trade union movement? You see this attack on workers? You see this failure on crime? There's one chapter missing to close that book. And that chapter is entitled From Mason Hall to Whitehall and back to Mason Hall. All who agree we should write that chapter. He will send his backside packing. And I'm not afraid to say that, comrades. I say that on the basis of the spirit of our ancestors, on the basis of the spirit of our forefathers, our founding fathers, those who struggled before us, those who said that the trade union movement must be fearless, and that we must stand up and call a spade, and that they took action against colonial powers, they took action against Dr. Williams, they took action against George Chambers, we took action against Manning, we took action against Pandey, we took action against Robinson, we took action against Manning again, we took action against Kamla. So who the hell is Keith Rowley? We have to take action against Keith Rowley and the PLM man. We stayed silent too long, and those days are over. And just as workers across the world, just as workers in Europe, United Kingdom, in Latin America, across this region, faced with gross injustice, removal of benefits, attack on the working class, just as those workers responded after trying dialogue and that dialogue failed, those workers take to the streets. We must take to the streets of Trinidad and Tobago in our numbers again and again and again and again. We must not be silent. If you remain silent, silent is consent. Silent means that you agree that half of petroleum workers must go home. Silence means that the OWTU workers must go home. That workers represented by communication workers, union TSTT workers must go home. That workers across the country must go home. We disagree with that, comrade. And let me remind all that we presented to the government an alternative to this arrangement, an alternative to the myopic approach being implemented by the government. That we said that, listen, if you implement Labour's economic alternative plan, that is an alternative to sending workers home. You will then be able to mobilize all the idle resources that today is sitting in the banks, gaining very low interest rates, so that your billions of dollars in credit union funds, billions of dollars in pension funds, billions of dollars that the 1% today are taking out of the country, are converted into very scarce foreign exchange, backing their money outside of Trinidad and Tobago, making us pay for that. The government ought to put policies in place to capture all of those resources and put workers to work as an alternative to sending workers home. But as the point that was made earlier on, they disregarded that plan simply because the 1% told them that that is not in their aim. You know, I was in Faizabad last night, and as I came over Lamtak Hill, and about to approach Charlie King Junction, a massive building, the building starts from, it must be about a good 2 minutes drive before we reach the end of the building. And I said to my comrades, who owned that building? And you know what they said? So, who could possibly own that building? Because when I look at the building, I saw children's park and family park. I said, well, there's a government paying the rent there. Should the government pay the rent there? So what do you mean to do? And that building didn't just spring up there recently. That building was being constructed over time. But who owned the building? You know, the same people who was condemning the last people, they own the building and they're collecting rent now in a sort of incestuous financial arrangement with the government that's smiling all the way to the government. Imagine that. So while they take us for fools, while they tell you, listen, forget them people, they too corrupt, they are themselves more corrupt. And let's ask the question before we close here. Who is going to benefit from the Europe interchange? Who is going to get all the change out of that? Who is going to benefit from the highway to where? Manzanilla or Toko, highway to nowhere, just highway so that they can get money. And while they condemn those other people, they are themselves reading from the same script. Come on, there's one message here. Once we continue with the same system of governance, we are taking off, we give power over to the next group, and that next group say they better than the last group, in all different ways, including the ways the team, we will continue, we'll come back here, right here, over and over again. And especially where we allow them to create damage, which damage cannot be corrected long after they leave office. So long after they leave office, if we are silent, a petrogenic will be in the hands of somebody else. UTT will be closed down. The TSDT will be in the hands of total private ownership. And so on and so on. We must put a stop to that. And so by the virtue of your vote here today, Congress, I'm saying we're going to give them our opportunity. Take your hands off of our NIS, please, because if you remove that age from 60 to 65, we are going to declare a time of war against that. All of them no self-respecting PNM could tell me that the more PNM are prepared to give up the NS benefit for Rowley and the next one for him. Take your hands off of that. And very quickly, bring to the Parliament laws that deals with the amendment of the retrenchment and self-recognition. Recognition and certification, or to make it easier for us to gain recognition. And to ensure that all of those unfriendly labor laws are amended for the benefit of workers. One labor day this year, this is our dress rehearsal today. This is our dress rehearsal for Labor Day. On Labor Day today, this year, we are going to make a particular announcement. And I'll tell you what that is. At the level of the leadership of the Joint Trade Union Movement, we are going to actively engage ourselves in discussion as not if, as to when. We are going to, after today's meeting, have the discussion as to what day we are going to bring to a halt this country. What day we are going to start this. And when we decide that date, which date would be too long, on Labor Day 2018, we are going to be making the announcement as to one day in which one, not too long from now, we are going to shut down Trinidad and Tobago in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago. So we have to prepare ourselves, comrades. We have to prepare because you see this thing didn't come like that. This thing, yes, comrade, I agree with you. It didn't come like that. And the comrade said we find we talking too much. I agree with that. But we have to talk. And we have to get everybody on board. And we have to let people know. And we have to let people come on board. We have to let even the strongest PNM supporter know that if you didn't join with us to save Trinidad and Tobago, which when you save Trinidad and Tobago, you're saving yourself. We have absolutely no choice in this matter. So we're coming with it. And when we come with it, not a Maxi must roll, not a bus must move, nobody must vote. Everybody must stay at home and send a clear signal that listen, we are serious. We are self-respecting individuals. That when we leave home every day and we go to work, we give our service not just to ourselves and our family. We give our service to contribute to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore we give our service to Trinidad and Tobago. And if the government of Trinidad and Tobago does not respect or pay any regard to that service, we are going to do what is necessary to demand respect from them. All hell must rule. And yes, all hell is going to break loose. And when that time comes, don't blame the labor movement. Don't blame us. Blame the incompetent party that asked for the job and failed on the job. Because we have absolutely no choice, comrades, but to take necessary, decisive action. Let me ask you, I want to get a vote here today. I am saying, comrades, if there's another way, after negotiating, winning terms and conditions and benefits in collective agreement, after those terms and conditions are violated, after workers are being sent home, made to sacrificial land, after they're doing what they want, and after all of the dialogue, no results. If there's another way, I want Congress to tell us that. Do you agree that we should continue to talk? You agree we should continue to talk? You agree we should take action? Congress, you agree that we should take action? You agree that if they continue on Labor Day, we're going to announce the date, and in fact, we must support a day of resistance here in Trinidad and Tobago. All who in favor for shutting the country down in the interest of the country, show by the rest of your hands. Put it on them. I'm going to say, put it on them. Yeah, too much nonsense. I want to thank comrades for a very good day. A very powerful showing. Because when they thought, and sometimes we ourselves might doubt ourselves. Because when we thought that workers not listening, workers listening. And sometimes when as trade union leaders, you tell us, hey, listen, workers are going to respond, and comrades are doing something else. They are making a fatal mistake. Workers are listening. All we need to do is to tell workers the truth. Tell them the right thing. Point them to good leadership and point them to the answers, what we have to do in their own interest, and workers will support. And on the basis of the type of support that we saw we get today, I want you to congratulate yourself. You are very important. Very important. So, whatever the media do, because as I said earlier on, while the media workers are our friends, the media as an establishment is not our friend. The media will portray everything negative. The media will say, all we talk about today is shutdown. All we want to do is march. But the media themselves, supported by all the subsidiary businesses and so on, benefit from workers who work and spend money in those establishments. So look at all the different holdings, the Guardian holdings and the different holdings, all the different business arrangements they enter into, where workers themselves spend money, where they declare hundreds of millions of dollars in profits, only on the basis of the same workers that they condemn and criticize. And who want to talk, let them talk. Who vexed, let them vex. Indeed, who vexed is lost. Who vexed is lost when their lives their business. And something tell me that as a trade unionist, something tell me that me and my comrades join together. The first and only thing that we care about is the interest that we represent, that that is the working class. Nobody gives us anything to take it away from us. All of us have, all that we have to do now, all of us, is to band together to defend and to prevent them from taking that away from us. We can do it. We can do it. And so I invite you to start with us and when we start making the preparation. Because when we create that announcement and get that endorsement, and Charlie King Junction on June 19th, not too long from now, we want that to be fully supported and properly well implemented. All the talk we're talking with DP and Shell, all over the place. All the talk they're talking with multinationals. All the talk they're talking about trying to get investment into the country. No talk about those who will make those investments successful. Because you could have whatever investment. If you didn't have workers working, that investment will go to zero. So they're depending on us to be at work to make sure that those investments are successful. But today I call on them to treat with respect the City Corporation workers in San Fernando. Today I call on them to treat with respect the sanitation workers in Trinidad and Tobago. Today I call on them to treat with respect the banking and insurance general workers. Today I call on them to treat with respect the utility workers who they want to send home. I call on them to treat with respect the prison officers in Trinidad and Tobago. I call on them to treat with respect even the police service in Trinidad and Tobago. And certainly I call on them to treat with respect the media workers, which media workers they are sending home by their hand jobs. I call on them to treat with respect the postal service workers in Trinidad and Tobago. I call on them to treat with respect the petroleum companies, the workers of the petroleum company of Trinidad and Tobago. I call on them to treat with respect the TNTech workers, the Wassa workers. I call on them with demand respect for all of the working people of Trinidad and Tobago here today on this meeting. As we raise our voices and say that a blow to one is a blow to all, that you touch one, you touch all, and that we are prepared to fight the good fight. We are prepared to fight the fight against the hypocrisy of this PNM government. We are prepared to fight the fight of this ungrateful Prime Minister. We are prepared to fight the fight to protect workers' interests. We are prepared to fight to the bitter end. And if we have to choose, and indeed we have to make a choice now, between your job and the job of the government, I think the answer is straightforward. All who agree that if they're sending us home, we should send the backside home. I want to hear you. All who agree that we are prepared to send our backside home, show me the raise of your hand. Now, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it, that voting section, we're going to put you on that scrutiny. All who agree that if government sending workers home, we must be prepared to send the government home. Somebody raise their hand. This side. This side. Somebody raise their hand. This side. All who agree. This side. All who agree. All together. All who agree that we must be prepared to send them backside home. Somebody raise their hand. Thank you very much, comrade. Let me recognize here. Let me recognize here as we close. He didn't walk with us, but the comrade was with us. So I'm on the top floor of the building. We know that the comrade walked many walks in the past. We have to understand the time we have to take a breeze. But it was good to come with us here in the end. Let's recognize the President General, the Contractor General. Comrades, let's join our arms in struggle. Prepare for Labor Day. As we say, forever, backward never, forever, backward never, forever, backward never, forever.